Hello, my name is Elizabeth, and I am here to take you through some of the beginnings of my cash planning journey and my experience with the zero-based budget program and the cash stuffing envelopes. So, I just wanted to tell you a little bit about myself as well as kind of take you through what I've gone through so far with working out this budget and um, provide a perspective here about my age, my situation, and kind of where I'm starting with all of this. And then bringing along you all for this journey to see how we do and how we save. So I'll just start by telling you my name again is Elizabeth, and I live in Michigan, here in the northern United States, in the Midwest, so you can kind of understand where I am in the world. It's getting a little bit colder, so I have a little hot cocoa here to keep me warm during the budget. And I hope you guys like the information that I can provide. And I've just figured this all out by watching a lot of other creators and watching a lot of people's different experiences with budgets and deciding kind of what would be best for me. What I love about this method is that it's variable for anyone. You can kind of make it work for your lifestyle, your budget, your work, your family, and decide how it'll work best for you. So basically how I started was watching a lot of videos on YouTube. And I have a few people that I love and have really enjoyed watching their content, but I've watched kind of all kinds, and I will put a lot of them in the description for you in case you want to take your time and watch some of those videos as well. But the biggest kind of influence for me has been the Aesthetic Dollar on YouTube, and I got a lot of her stuff and like my budget binders from her, my envelopes as well, and just watching her content to see how she makes that work with a family of that size and with the income that she has. So she was a big inspiration for kind of me starting this, and then a lot of other content creators I will put in the description for you so you can take your own time and explore those. So kind of how I started was creating a zero-based budget. And that, if you don't know what that is basically finding a space for every single dollar that comes into your bank account, and every single dollar has a purpose. Not that you are spending every dollar, but that each dollar has a reason in your life and in your budget. So I ended up writing out all of my expenses and then also all of my income. So I have no idea where that sheet went, where I originally wrote everything out. But then I ended up making a little sheet on Canva for just to keep a little bit more organized and put everything into sections so I can keep an eye on amounts and then going forward how that changes. So I have all of my expenses kind of on the edge here, and forgive me for all the marks. I ended up making a few of my own inserts for my envelopes, so it's a little bit messy, but basically what we have is rent, groceries, eating out, spending, medical, car, household, vacation, pet expenses, clothes, freezer, miscellaneous / emergency, and gas. And then electronically, I will have my health insurance amount removed, and I decided to do a $5 saving challenge every time I stuff my envelopes. So I decided that for me, it was important that I cash stuff a good amount of things, but also leave some in the bank. So I have at the end of this decided to leave my gas money coming out of my card because I get gas rewards, but I will pay myself back with the money that I stuff in my envelopes so that if I have rollover money, then I can go on a trip or take that and make sure that I have gas covered if money is ever tight. So to create my budget, I ended up using all of my bank statements to find approximate amounts that I spent each month on all of these categories and kind of use that backwards to figure out, what was I spending money on and how was I using it in my life. So I ended up with these amounts. Obviously you can see I kind of changed them just a little bit as I stuffed my envelopes, and then provided this section here for bills that I would need when I went to the bank. So I'll take you through some of my categories and just why I have each one. So rent, you can see it's at $250. I'm putting in my envelopes. It varies, but that is about the max amount, as I live in a family property. And so these are just costs for all of my utilities as well as any upkeep around the house. And then groceries, I tend to make a lot of my own food, so it's nice to have a good kind of chunk of change, and again, this is monthly, to be able to go to Costco or buy in bulk to be able to have my fridge and freezer stocked. Eating out, I really don't go out to eat too much, but the eating out is when I am at work. I work in retail, and I have a lot of amazing little cafes and coffee shops to choose from. So I end up either grabbing some breakfast or a little hot drink or something like that to get me through some long days. And so I want to provide enough money for me to do that and enjoy those places and support those local businesses, but also put a little bit of a cap on that so that I don't do it every single time I'm at work. Spending money is about at $75, just to allow myself some space and to find things that I like, maybe even order things for the budget that I'd like that will help me save money. Just kind of whatever spending for me. It's my personal allowance, if you will. Medical, so again, I have that medical insurance. However, I do have a deductible and copays to pay on certain visits. So I allow myself $50 a month for stuffing for that. And a car, I have paid off my car, which is amazing. But now I have any sort of upkeep, oil changes, new tires, things like that. So I put $50 into my envelope each month. Household is anything I need for the home, dish soap, dish brushes, anything for laundry, towels, etc. Give myself about $20 for that. And vacation, I am going on a vacation here coming up early next year, going out to have a bit of a desert vacation with a few of my girlfriends and my sister. And so saving up for that, just popping a bit of money in there each time. Pet expenses, I have a adorable little cat named Millie, and she sometimes needs to go to the vet, and she needs her food, her litter, and all that good stuff. So I'm budgeting around $50 a month and for her. Clothes, I have a very full wardrobe, so it's really just if I find something that needs to be donated and want to find something to replace it, or fall in love with something, or a coat needs to be replaced, etc., I will have a little bit of a fund to do that. I'm hoping to get a freezer here. I live in quite a small home, but I would love to have a bit more space to do some prep for dinners or breakfast preps so that I can save a bit of time in my life, and it also helps save a lot of money. So a little bit of cash in there, 20. And then my miscellaneous / emergency fund. This one's kind of changed into more of a miscellaneous / buffer, and then I will start a new envelope for a traditional emergency fund. So that's kind of changed, and I'll take you through what I've kind of migrated through. So I also put that gas money in here up to about $200 a month, which allows for to fill my gas tank one time each week if it's a 4-week month. And I end up never really exactly doing that, but it allows for it if need be. I do live quite a ways out of our main town, which is where I work, and so I do end up using a lot of gas for my car, but I have great gas mileage, which is great. So again, that electronic gets taken out, which is my health insurance, and then I'm doing a $5 savings challenge, which I got from the Aesthetic Dollar, and I'll show you that as well. So kind of put some totals down here at the bottom and did a lot of math and all the things to make sure I had the right envelopes. So this was kind of the original budgeting sheet. So I just made this on Canva, but you know, a lot of creators sell their items, so you would be able to find a lot of their things. Or you can make yourself one, or you can also just use a notebook. So you don't really have to start with anything specific. I just know it helps me to stay organized like this. So if you have any questions about how to kind of start creating something like this, let me know. Otherwise, check out the links for the creators that I'll put in the description so you can check out their Etsy's and their websites. Okay, so get a small sip of hot cocoa here. Wonderful. Okay, and so then I was super happy with my budget and I put everything in my binder. And then I decided, okay, I get paid weekly. And I'm so lucky for that. And I decided it was more important for me to cash plan and cash stuff weekly. A lot of people recommend that you do cash stuff weekly or whenever you get paid. So it's usually with each paycheck that you're supposed to cash stuff. But for some people, it's more convenient to do, you know, every 2 weeks or every month. But I find that it would be good for me to do every week and take each paycheck and allocate the money immediately. So I switched that up. This original cash planning sheet that I was showing you, I did monthly. So then I decided to switch to weekly and ended up creating kind of from just a notebook page here with a ruler, a little kind of same sheet, but with weekly expenses. So you'll see a lot of the same categories, and then some different amounts here. And I just allocated in each section if it's a weekly expense, the WE, or an S, a sinking fund. And so a sinking fund is something you are saving for or wanting to pad up a good amount of money in case something happens, you know, to your car, or if you get a medical procedure and you need a chunk of change to pay for that, or you need to take your animal to the vet, etc. Like I'm saving for my vacation, for the freezer, for clothes if need be. And then in the process of creating this, I decided I needed some more sinking funds. So I ended up ordering the envelopes from the Aesthetic Dollar with all of the holidays on them because that is something for me that causes me anxiety about money. So I love the idea of being able to save money for the holidays so that I don't feel stressed about buying gifts for my family because I love doing it, but I hate dropping all that money and feeling like I never saved for it. So this gives me a perfect way to save for that and know exactly what's coming. And then to the bottom here, I added past the holidays, a traditional miscellaneous / emergency fund, and some subscriptions that I forgot that I had, I decided I would stuff for. My car insurance and registration, that is annual here in Michigan, and tax prep. I have someone who does my taxes for me, and I have the amount here that I need to save for them every April. So I'll go over the amounts that I have set here, and I kind of took those amounts from my monthly budget and divided them by 4, but I also had some fun at my first cash stuffing because my bank has turned all of their human tellers into machines, and so they're basically ATMs that you can talk to a bank teller and do a video chat with them, and they will help you and go through basically the same thing that a person would do for you, and talk with you about what you need, the certain denominations that you need, and then they'll dispense from the machine. However, this machine doesn't have $50 bills. And so when I got there, I had to readjust really quickly to figure out how I can cover everything. So my first was a bit off, and this one I could plan for that case of not having $50 bills. So I can show you here just a close little view of what we've got going on. So start with groceries as a weekly expense. These first 6 will be weekly expenses. Groceries, I allotted $60 here so that I can be able to go to the shop, and then also if I don't use all of it, I'll save it up and then can possibly go and do bulk shopping, which is great. And then gas, about $40 a week, so that would allow for a lot more. As I'm finding out, this week is my first real week of living on the cash stuffing envelopes, that it's a bit much for me because I don't need that much. So the amount might go down a little bit, but it'll still allow me to save some money. Spending is $20 a week, and eating out is $40, which I'm going to have dinner with some coworkers from my last job, and I am so excited because the budget's here and it's allowing me to do this freely, and I know I have the money for it. So I actually haven't had any lunches out at work this week, and I'm ready to save up for that dinner with my friends later this week. Household, another weekly expense, about $15 a week, allowing me to pick up anything I need for the house, but also just stuffing for something that I do end up needing. That miscellaneous and buffer, I'm allowing for a weekly expense in case, I'm at the grocery store and I need an extra $5 or even an extra $2. So I put 10 in there for that purpose. And that can grow to become a little bit bigger of a buffer, if I don't use it every week. And then my rent is the 12th of every month that I pay that. And so I figured out that $65 will get me to my total I need for the monthly amount that I was allocating, / it will get me to the amount I need by the 12th of the month. So car is a sinking fund as well. We kind of talked about that. I did 15. Medical, 15. Pet expenses, 10. Hoping that I just took her to the vet, so it will be hopefully a little bit until she has to go back, so I can save up enough money to pay for that office visit. Vacation, 15 a week. Freezer, 10 a week. Clothes, 10 a week. And then kind of added up those totals. Then I have my electronic health insurance that comes out, the saving challenge, and kind of came up with a total here. And then for the back here, allocated, since we are in the month of October, we've kind of passed through Valentine's Day, Easter, Mother's Day, Father's Day, 4th of July, and now we're kind of headed to Halloween. So I popped $40 into Halloween, $40 into Thanksgiving. I'm not sure, I don't believe I'll be hosting Thanksgiving, but I will definitely be contributing and bringing something, if not helping to cook. So wanting to have something that I can bring to that dinner. Black Friday, I end up usually being a big Black Friday shopper, so I want to be able to have a good amount of money in there to pick up some things that I need and some good deals. Christmas got 100 as well. And this stuff might be a bit higher at this first stuffing, and it might go down as I go, just paying for some other expenses, but just giving it a first good stuff, and then going from there. New Year's Eve, I don't tend to do too much on New Year's Eve, but the same kind of thing as Thanksgiving. I might want to bring something to someone's house if we go over and celebrate there. So just kind of stuffing a little bit of money here and there to do that. Gifts got 100. I have a good amount of family who live near me, as well as some extended family that I love to be able to provide gifts for birthdays or even take them out to dinner. So my miscellaneous emergency fund is getting 20, hoping to do about 20 every single week. And the original budget, kind of this whole experience, is based on Dave Ramsey. And so I actually don't know too terribly much about his system, just from what I'm watching of these content creators, and haven't done a ton of research into him directly, just kind of modeling off of these other budgets. But I do know that he suggests having $1,000 into a specifically funded emergency envelope. So I'm hoping to kind of build that up as I go. And like I said, I added subscriptions for $20 a week, and just hoping to pay for a few of those things. I'm just thinking I have a list app that I use for the grocery store, and that has, I believe, $9.99 an annual fee. So, and then Spotify as well. So there's a few things I can't actually remember at the moment, but it would pay for it annually. Car insurance and registration, again, annual payments. So it's paid in March and April, around that time. And so I put $100 in there, and tax prep is about $275, and we obviously do that at tax time in April. So I popped 100 in there, again, just kind of padding these envelopes for now, but the amount per check is definitely going to reduce. So this is the amount that went into my cash saving binder for this week, and I will show you that, and then I will go through some other info. So this is my cash stuffing binder. I just love organization, and when things are all together and kind of well represented and well presented. So I am obsessed with the aesthetic dollar, because her aesthetic is all that I aspire to. So it's really nice to be able to kind of see how she's doing her envelopes and then model something off of that as well, but make it my own too. So this is one of her cash planning binders. I'll link it in the description below for you. The quality is amazing. It's holding 12 envelopes at the moment, which is a lot, and stuffed. So I got 6 from her that are pre-labeled. I'll show you a little bit closer. So I have groceries, gas, spending, eating out, household, and miscellaneous. Then I got 6 envelopes that are unlabeled from her with little tabs. My sister has a label maker, so eventually I will make some little labels for these guys. But I just made some little pictures here out of some cardstock that I had. So just showing you, you can do this all your own. You can start this yourself. So I will go through them here and just show you some things that I created, and show you the trackers that I created as well, kind of how I organize everything as well. Okay, so I will bring you down a little bit closer here so you can see a little bit better and hopefully not make too much noise here with my tripod. There we go. Okay, so I will show you. I'll take a little hot cocoa break. Delish. Okay, so I also like that you can put your cards in here. I am notorious for not using my gift cards when I get them for Christmas and birthdays, and my family knows that I love Ulta. I get a lot of my skincare stuff there, or at least I really used to. The business I work at has a lot of eco-friendly beauty and things like that that I've started using in my routines. So this stuff would be kind of more just luxury stuff that I want to try, or even gifts for people. So I will show you here, starting with groceries, which is also something I saw in another video. If I can remember the video, I will link it as well, but she put her gift cards in the sections that she would be spending in. So I have Meijer grocery store here in Michigan. I have a little gift card there, and I've done some spending already, so these are completely stuffed full. But you'll see the trackers here where I started and I ended up redoing it and kind of going and starting at 60. So I spent a little money. My boyfriend and I went to Costco and picked up some things. So this week left, today is Tuesday. I have $27 left this week to spend on groceries if need be. And I made these little trackers here out of cardstock paper and just used actually this little leaflet that I got from the Aesthetic Dollar in my package that she sent, and use this as a ruler. So I don't even have a ruler in the house. So it shows you can just use anything that you have. And use that to create this little tracker so that I can see kind of where things are just by looking at it quickly. So gas, again, I'm using my card that I have through Costco that gets gas points. So I'm using that, but I'm still stuffing money for gas just so that I have this budgeted out and I can stack up money and save along the way. Spending here, I have a little Visa gift card that I got for a holiday, I believe, and then I stuffed cash as well. So I used some of the spending money for an overage at Costco. I kind of panicked a little bit, and I think I probably should have used that buffer fund, but I really hadn't really figured it out just yet. So I used like $15 for my spending for Costco. So I have $85 plus with that gift card included in spending. In eating out, I have, let's see, $40 in there, and I haven't used that again. I'm waiting to have that lunch or dinner with my friends. Then I have household, which has a home goods gift card in there, and I actually bought some new towels for my house this week, and those were $20 total from Costco for those towels. So I have $65 left in there, which is great. And then this is the sweater weather challenge that I got from the Aesthetic Dollar. So I'll just show you really quickly. It is this beautiful paper little card, and it has 48 bubbles on it. And you will use this throughout the sweater weather, whatever you really allocate that to be. And for me, I didn't really put an end on there. It's just going to be from when I started to when I end. So basically 48 days from, 48 bubbles. But if I can fill more than one bubble a week, that would be great. So I decided to do $5 for each bubble and pop that in there whenever I can, whether it be a grouping of ones or if I have the space in my budget to do a total of 5, I will. And then at the end of the 48 days, I should have $240. I kind of played around with some different amounts for the bubbles and decided that this would be a good first saving challenge for me. So really nice, and kind of playing around with different things to put in the bubbles. So really good. Right now it is sharing an envelope with miscellaneous because I don't have enough envelopes. And so I have about $10 in there. I know I have a little extra ones that I will be able to cross off another section in the next stuffing, which is great. Then I have the miscellaneous section with sharing in this envelope. And so I have the tracker here for this one, and I have $19 in here. I stole $1 for something, and I don't exactly remember what, but I usually write it in there, and I think on my next tracker I'll have a little reason for spending section, and I'll probably make them on Canva. So I will fix that for the next time because I want to know where everything's going. So there's $19. There are $19 in there at the moment in miscellaneous. Then we have rent, and I have $165 in there right now, and it's coming up on the 12th of the month, so the next cash stuffing I do will be able to complete it for the 12th of the month, which I will pay my rent. So car, I have $15 in there at the moment. I don't need anything for my car right now. I will need an oil change coming up, but I'll have enough time to stuff for that. Medical, I have $15 in there at the moment. I just had a few doctor's appointments for the year, and I don't think I'll have any coming up soon, so this should be plenty. Pet expenses, I have $10 in there. Again, I just took her to the vet, so she should be fine, so this will pad up for the future. Vacations coming up in February, so I have a good amount of time to save up for that. I've already paid a few things for that vacation, so this would more just be money to spend while I'm there. Freezer is sharing a section here with clothes. So I have a tracker in each one of the sections here. So I have $10 in freezer. Looks like the ones I'm looking at are about $200, $250. So we'll get there when we get there, but it's not something I need, just something I really want to have in the house. So that is exactly what I'm kind of using some of these sinking funds for, is things that I want, not things that I have to have. And then for clothes, I have $10 in there as well. Same thing, just something I want to save for. Okay, so that is the whole binder. And then I will say I am going to get, and it's on the way from the Aesthetic Dollar, a really cool wallet that has sections just like this does with the binders, so that I can bring probably these 6 envelopes here, which are my weekly expenses, with me where I go and when I shop, so that I have them with me anytime I am out and about. And then these sinking funds plus those holiday funds that I was telling you about, these guys will be in this binder actually, and I will switch my weekly expenses into that wallet. So I'm very excited for that to come. That's a kind of happy mail that I like. And so I have some little kind of things I made here to, you can also buy these from a lot of different creators, but I just made some for when those new envelopes come, like the holidays that I'm not funding. I'm going to pop these little not fundings into my envelopes like this. So just did some measuring to make sure that it would fit properly. And it's not super cute and aesthetic, but it works really well. And then I made some little cards for fully funded, so a little ahead of the game, but hoping some things will be fully funded at some point. And then maybe at that point I can get some trackers, but not right now. So that is kind of what we have going on. I ended up making a little free sheet for my next stuffing, which I get paid on every Friday. And so I made a little sheet here for when I get paid next at the end of this week. And I just know I have to stuff $85 for rent to make my rent payment on the 12th. But the rest is kind of blank at the moment, and I will have to allocate that once I get my check to see how much it is. Because I work retail, I do work some variable hours, and sometimes I get a little bit more time off, sometimes I don't. And I usually get a certain amount, and then I just take that average and did that for my monthly expenses. But it does change, so I have to wait every week to get my check. So I will probably film another video when I do my next stuffings, just so that you can come along for the ride on that too. But if you have any questions, please let me know, and I'm happy to answer anything if I know the answer, of course. But I am just kind of learning along the way, so if you have any tips or tricks or anything like that, just shoot me a message and leave a comment, and I will get back to you if I have an answer for you. But just thank you in advance for joining me. And I just love watching videos like this and seeing other people's budgets and systems that they kind of have built up. And I wanted to share mine just as a different perspective as well, as I am a 26-year-old living alone, and I don't have any children. I just have my pet Millie, and I actually don't have any debt. I feel very lucky to be able to say that. And so coming at this from a point of view of saving money and feeling a lot more secure in how I'm using my funds, and the money that I work hard for, I want to be able to use in the way that it makes sense for me. So I hope you guys really like this video, and again, let me know if anything comes up, you have questions, but I'd love to hear your feedback. Thank you guys so much, and have a wonderful rest of your day.